Today is April 24th. This is Catherine from my hillside garden, and we're going to plant out some tomatoes today. I have the Siberians, and the next 10 days forecast looks really nice. It's not supposed to dip below mid-40s at night. So I have the Siberian tomatoes. I'm going to plant them out. I've made 12-inch square grids, and that's how I'm going to plant these in the main garden bed this year. So I'm going to try and dig down farther than what the cup's depth is. So let's see how I can do that. Okay, that's about the depth of the cup. So I need to go a bit further than that. I'll use my hand. And hopefully not as much will fall into the hole. See how far I'm going to supplement each hole with some of the really good compost by Miracle-Gro, and I'm also going to use Burpee organic tomato and vegetable food in each hole. Plus, I also have some eggshells. And the eggshells, it's felt, will add calcium, which is important for tomatoes because they can get blossom end rot. And some of my eggshells I put in my compost, and some I save for when I plant. Just gonna mix that into the hole a little bit better. It says 1/4 of a cup per 10 square feet, and it's for gardening, for container gardens, 1.5 cups per cubic feet of soil. So I think we're going to go with about 2 tablespoons for each hole. And I use a large soup spoon. And I'm going to mix that into the hole because I don't want it directly on the roots of the tomato plant. Mix that in. And then we're going to take this plant and let's see I hope I have this on camera. Look at the nice roots. Since we potted them into the 6-inch cups, has lots of nice roots. So I'm going to put that in the hole, and I'm going to take off that one branch because remember I said we can always grow more roots. More roots from the stem. So by taking that one branch off, I can put this deeper into the soil. Just gonna try and hold it upright a little bit, being very gentle on the stem. And I forgot to put my compost in there. I was so worried about the eggshells. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open that bag of really good compost, and I'm going to put that around the top. I'm going to use the really good compost kind of as a mulch around the planting. And this way, as it gets watered and as it rains, it will help to work its way into the soil. And the worms will also help to bring it down. So we'll have to see if that technique changes anything. The other ones, let's hope I don't forget to put the compost in the bottom of the hole. This one, and again, I have a little grid that I've marked off with my little 1-foot markers. And I'm going to try to dig in the middle of the square. They are going to be a bit intensively planted, and that's okay because they are a little bit offset from each other. Okay, so let's see. There's our hole, that depth right now, so let's try and get a little bit more of that soil out. In some of the eggshells. Good handful. They're partially crushed. I'll crush them some more. Mix them in. And I'm going to put the tomato and vegetable fertilizer, 2 tablespoons or soup spoons of that in there. And we're going to mix that up. Now we're going to put the compost in. And let's take the shovel. Get 2. Let's see. Should have planned a little bit better. There's 1. Okay. Here's the second trowelful. Mix that into the bottom there with everything else. And now we're going to take our Siberian tomato, turn it upside down, pat it out. There's our great roots at the bottom. Put it in the hole. I'm going to trim off these bottom 2 branches because I believe they will be underground. Hold the plant gently by the main stem. And now what I like to try to do with each one is I make a little well around it. Let's get this one out of the way. Make a little well around it, and that will help the water to stay near the root area of the tomato plant. And let me get the rest of these done, and then I'll bring you back. Okay? Great. Thought I'd bring you in for a little bit closer look of how I'm going to plant these tomatoes today. I've dug a hole so that way it will fit at least as deep as the cup, or a little bit deeper than the cup. And then I'll take this out, and I'm going to take off these bottom 2 branches. We might take the 3rd one off after I overturn it. But first, let's put our supplements in that hole so we don't forget to do that. So we're going to put in a generous handful of eggshell that I saved. And mix that in the hole. And then we're going to do 2 of these soup spoons of the Burpee organic tomato and vegetable fertilizer. It is a 3-6-4 mix. Mix that in real well, and then we're going to take a couple of scoops of the Nature's Care really good compost that I like. Put that in the bottom of the hole as well. Mix that in. And then what we're going to do, then we're going to tip our tomato out. Take a look at the nice roots. Has a nice root system on there. And now we're going to put the plant in the hole and backfill it. Trying to keep it as straight as we can. dirt that we dug out, press it in a little bit. We're going to make a bit of a divot around it. And I think we're going to leave that last branch there. And there we go. So the next step that we have to do is to water, put our labels in, and also to put some form of support on them. So I'll bring you back once I've decided which supports we're going to use for these and have them in place.